We're all living in this age of so-called smart cities, right? Where technology is supposed to make everything safer, more efficient. But you look around and there are cameras on pretty much every corner. And it makes you wonder, in this big rush to feel safe, have we let surveillance go just a little too far?
You are being watched. You know, for the longest time, that was a line you'd hear in a sci-fi movie, a spooky warning about some future we all hoped would never happen. Well, guess what?
That future's here. This isn't a movie line anymore. It is quite literally just a fact of life in most cities today. As our towns and cities get smarter, these CCTV cameras have become just as common as streetlights. It's just normal now.
And just how normal are we talking? Well, take a look at this number, 1,826. That's how many CCTV cameras are crammed into every single square mile of Delhi. That's more than New York, more than London. The scale of it is, well, it's just staggering.
So what we have now is what you could call the all-seeing city. And look, this didn't just happen overnight. It's been a massive, rapid expansion by governments and private companies through huge programs like India's Safe City project, which has put thousands of cameras all over the country. But here's the thing. This high-tech shield we've built, it's a classic double-edged sword. It gets right to the heart of this conflict between our need for security and our fundamental right to privacy. Is this tool that's meant to keep us safe slowly turning into a kind of invisible cage?
And this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the promise, right? Cameras can scare off criminals, they help manage traffic, and they are absolutely critical for investigations. Think about the 2015 Paris attacks, for example. But then there's the peril. Privacy experts talk about these chilling effects, where we start changing how we act just because we know someone's watching. And that's before you even get to the scary stuff like data misuse or facial recognition being used without our permission.
And this quote from Edward Snowden just nails it. He says, "These technologies make the intrusions feel normal. And because of that, it gets harder and harder for us to push back. And the cost? It's not just our data. It's our autonomy, our freedom to just be, without feeling like we're constantly being judged or monitored."
Okay, so if the technology is absolutely everywhere and our freedom is on the line, you'd think our laws are keeping up, right? That they're protecting us? Well, that's the next big question we have to ask. Is the law falling behind the tech?
Just look at this comparison. It's a tale of two very different approaches. Over in the European Union, their GDPR is super clear. It has strict rules for CCTV data. It says you have to put up signs to let people know they're being recorded, and you need a really good reason to be recording in the first place. But then you look at India's new Data Protection Act, and it's pretty ambiguous. There's not a lot of clarity on how it deals with this kind of constant passive recording in public.
So do these kinds of strong rules actually make a difference? Oh yeah, they do. This number, £60,000. That was the fine a council in the UK had to pay under GDPR because they misused CCTV footage. It's proof that when the law is clear, it has real teeth. And really, at the very core of this whole legal debate is a principle we just can't ignore. India's Supreme Court has been very clear about this. The right to privacy is a fundamental right. It's not some optional extra. And if you're going to restrict it, that restriction has to be proportional and absolutely necessary. So, does all this mean we're stuck? That we have to choose between total surveillance on one side and zero security on the other? No, not at all. There are smarter ways to do this. Smarter surveillance solutions that can give us safety without forcing us to give up our rights.
And here are a few really practical ideas. First, data minimization. It's simple. Just don't keep the footage forever. Second, use tech that actually enhances privacy, like blurring technologies that can automatically block out faces or license plates unless they're needed for a specific investigation. And finally, just be transparent. Publish the rules for surveillance and let citizens actually have a say in them. All of this, everything we've talked about, it brings us to one last incredibly important point. It's a question that people have been asking for centuries, but honestly, it has never been more relevant than it is today.
Because when you really boil it all down, this whole debate, it's not really about cameras versus no cameras. That's too simple. It's about something much, much deeper. So what's the real issue here? It's about accountability. This quote from Shoshana Zuboff absolutely hits the nail on the head. The technology itself, the cameras, they're just tools. The real issue is the system we build around them. Who has the power and who is watching them? That's the question we have to answer if we want to make sure technology is serving us and not the other way around.